On the edge of the land, the coastline is a window to the vast, mysterious ocean. From the high, exposed cliffs, down to the shoreline and beyond, beneath the tide line, the animals that live here have evolved over millions of years, adapting to their natural environment. 95% of all marine creatures live in coastal waters. But they have not had time to adapt to the challenges they face in a rapidly warming world. The UK is internationally important for seabirds. Our long rocky coastline, with its many islands and cliffs, are ideal for breeding. But in recent years, studies have revealed that many global seabird populations are on a rapid downward spiral. In rhythm with the ebb and flow of the tides, kittiwakes forage at dusk and at dawn. With long wings, evolved for flying long distances, kittiwakes are unable to dive more than a foot or so. As the ocean warms, the prey they depend on at the surface of the water is disappearing. They can no longer find enough food to feed themselves and their chicks.
In the wider UK kittiwake population, there has been significant declines in the last 30 years now. They have a kind of a limited range, in many ways, the kittiwakes, how far they can go out to get food to bring back to their nests. So they need that combination of nest sites and rich feeding grounds.
Nests left unattended are a sign of desperate measures. Driven by the lack of food, both parents are forced to hunt together instead of taking it in turns, leaving chicks vulnerable to predation. But many kittiwakes are simply becoming too hungry to have the energy to breed and rear their young. On average, only 1 in 4 chicks survive in the UK. In the worst cases, whole colonies of kittiwakes are failing to breed and have flown back out to sea, never to return. But this is not only happening to kittiwakes. All seabirds share certain traits. They stay with their life partner and return to the same nest year in, year out. Those that hunt from the air are camouflaged with white undersides so as not to scare away fish while hunting. Many seabird species rely on the same sources of food. So, to avoid competition, each species feeds in a different way. So, adaptation is the key to which species will survive in this heat-fueled lottery. Although they nest on land, seabirds spend most of their lives out at sea. At the top of the marine food chain, seabirds act as a barometer for the changes taking place beneath the waves. So, to really understand what's going on up here, we have to look down there. Shallow waters warm the fastest, so coastal waters and the species that live here are the first to be affected. The rate of warming progressively increases towards the northern extremes, with the impact becoming worse in the north of the country. Animals on the shoreline that can't swim away have nowhere to hide from the heat, while other species thrive in warmer conditions. Plankton drifts in the cool, nutrient-dense waters surrounding the UK, forming a rich, living soup. But over the last 30 years, increasing sea temperatures have caused changes to these microscopic plants and animals, which are the main food source for small fish like sand eels. This has caused sand eels to decrease in number and in size, and to become less nutritious. The seabirds that are the worst affected all depend on plankton and sand eels as their main source of food. Meanwhile, high temperatures have major effects on cold-blooded marine animals, causing many fish to flee to cooler waters found deeper and further out to sea. Seabirds and other animals that breed on land and feed out in the ocean have to travel further and dive deeper to access their supply of fish. Changes at the bottom of the food chain cause a domino effect, cascading through the ecosystem. The health of the oceans can be measured by the number and size of the sand eels that puffins are bringing back to their burrows for their pufflings. The lineage of puffins is older than some of the rocks they stand on. Their ancestors arrived in the Atlantic Ocean 5 million years ago and have survived through ice ages. In areas of plenty, such as here in the marine protected area of Skoma, they catch around 10 sand eels or small fish per dive, with specially adapted serrated mouths. It's said that the record number caught in one dive was 120. But in areas that are worse affected by warming, fish become smaller and more scarce, meaning that in order to catch enough fish, parent birds have to dive up to 1,000 times a day and fly hundreds of miles to find them. Puffins' wings are better suited to swimming. With the addition of increased stormy weather, foraging is becoming so strenuous that many puffins are dying from exhaustion out at sea. Guillemots also eat sand eels. Just like puffins, they're also diving birds. With their short, strong wings, they can effectively fly deep underwater, where they can catch bigger fish with their sword-like beaks. living shoulder to shoulder with the neighbours has its challenges. Space comes at a premium. The colony is like a busy, high-rise seabird city, a living information centre. As fish stocks regularly move, seabirds rely on each other for information about prey location. Prized locations at the centre of the colony are claimed by the most experienced and assertive parents. So to win a place in the centre of any colony, aggression is a necessary survival trait. Gannets are especially bad-tempered. But sky pointing and fencing are signs of peace, of mutual dependency and loyalty to their mate. Their flight is efficient, soaring on thermals with little effort.
The bird which has certainly increased in the North Sea and at Bempton here are gannets. The recovery we've seen here has been incredible, but they are quite a resilient species. You know, they're bigger than many of the other seabirds, and they have a wider range in terms of foraging range, and they have a wider prey availability. So maybe the gannet will adapt quite well to a change to warmer water species, but some of these more sandy or dependent species, which is a lot of the seabirds, they are going to struggle undoubtedly. I mean, how can we counteract this kind of global change? It's very difficult, but individual choices do matter, and also people's voices do matter. So the more people that can speak out for nature, the more chance we have of protecting it for the future.
Ocean warming may be invisible, but its effects are clear to see. We can campaign for a network of marine protected areas across the UK waters. We can make better choices about the seafood we eat, and we can reduce our carbon emissions to curb global warming. We are rapidly running out of time, but it's not too late. If we take action now, it's still possible to bring our wildlife back from the edge.